So today you're going to get to play with a thing called the OSMO DJI Pocket 3. It's a cool little camera. It has a very impressive sensor, which is the part inside the camera that actually catches the light and takes the video. It's got this tiny little screen here. It's small and handheld. In fact, here it is. If you ask your teacher, they'll give it to you. It fits in this little thing here, and when I take it out and I turn this screen sideways, that's how you turn it on. And watch, this little guy here turns around. And this thing here, I think you can see, it tilts and moves as I move my hand. That is called a gimbal, and it's the kind of thing that only Hollywood movie cameras had until not too many years ago. What this is really nice for is if, say, you were walking down the hallway, which we're about to do, and give a sort of a tour of GMS for a prospective student who might not have ever been here before. You're going to take video of like the library and walking down the hall toward the cafeteria, the lobby and the gym and things. Just kind of give them an idea of what GMS looks like. If you're walking with a regular camera in your hand, it's going to bounce up and down, and your video is going to be bouncy. This won't get rid of all the bounce, but it'll get rid of a lot. And I think we've all seen videos on YouTube that are all shaky and bouncy, and it's just makes for a very bad video. Now, in the old days, we would put a camera on a tripod with wheels and roll it down the hallway. That works, but this is a lot easier because it fits in your hand. You can see how small this thing is, all right? And certainly, there's a few controls you have to go over, and I'll talk about those. Certainly, click confirm here, and you can see that there's a screen. Right now, it's facing towards me. It's in selfie mode. So if I, 1, 2, 3, there it is, 1, 2, 3. So when I do 1, 2, 3, it turns around, and now it's looking at the front. So if I was filming this camera, now the thing is, and you can see as I tilt it, that lens pretty much stays in one place. So this is going to be really good. I would not suggest running or skipping down the hall. It will definitely then be kind of bouncy, your shot. But this auto gimbal here, the way this guy moves as I turn, and it sort of compensates for the direction I turn it. Again, that's a pretty tricky, high-tech piece of equipment on this tiny little camera, okay? Now, on the back here, you can see there's a record button that you would push, and you would start walking down. And that's probably good enough for our purposes now. The first thing I would want you to do is turn it around and press this record button. Maybe walk around the classroom and see if you can get to watch the video after you push the record button to stop. Go ahead, swipe to the left. In fact, here, I'll just, I think I had it on photo mode. Pull it over here. Yep, that was a photo. I can delete that. Confirm. Let's see, how do I get to video mode again? Okay, so down here in the corner, there's a little picture of a camera. I don't know if you can see that right there, that little camera. If I push that, I was in photo mode. I want to, video, that's what I want right there. It says video. So now I'm in video mode. Okay, so that was a little confusing. I don't know why it was in camera mode. Push the record button, and you can see the little numbers going there. You can see the red light. And as I move this camera around and auto gimbal it, I'll turn it around and look at my ugly mug, and then turn it around. And then when I push the record button again, you should see these numbers here in the corner. Stop. And if I swoop over from the side, and you can see the little numbers going there. There's my video. The red light. And as I move this camera tiny little screen, kind of annoying. I'm not going to lie to you. Turn it around and look at my ugly mug. And then turn it around. That's how you can double check and make sure that it's working. Again, you should see these numbers here in the corner. So, do a little test run in the classroom and make sure that it's working. And then you can walk down the hallway with this, and you can kind of talk about what you're seeing. As I said, you'll go do the library, the front lobby, along the gym and the cafeteria. And one of your main goals when you make this video is not to disrupt classes. So if you're taking video through the window into the gym and people are stopping and making faces or TikTok dancing at you, the phys ed teachers are going to get quite cranky. So you want to be somewhat inconspicuous. By that I mean you don't even want people to notice you. You just kind of walk by and you can almost kind of put this camera right up to your chest. It's so small people won't notice. When you're going down the hallway with a tripod, people definitely notice. So listen, use this OSMO Pocket 3. See, it says Pocket 3 right there. And be careful with it. Don't please mess around with this thing. Try pushing on it or fighting the little motors that make it control. Yeah, this is not a cheap camera, so don't drop it, certainly. Be careful with it, treat it gently, but it's a pretty cool piece of video equipment and relatively new to us here in the Tech Ed Lab. So have some fun, take some video up and down the hallways, maybe 2 minutes worth. Don't distract any classes, and then you're going to come back and upload it and make a nice video showing a tour of GMS for your project. All right, so imagine I'm a student taking some video for a tour of GMS. Here's the front lobby and the office. I might come over here by the Griswold Grizzlies sign. And again, I'm using this in my hand. Now, if there was a gym full of students working here and doing gym type stuff, and they saw me with this camera, they might start turning and looking at me and making faces and dancing and such. Make sure you don't distract the classes as you're taking this video, okay? You could walk down to the cafeteria. In fact, since it's a long way down the hallway, I'm gonna push pause for a second. And maybe somewhere around here, I would start a new clip of the video showing the cafeteria. Now, it would normally be filled with noisy children. Well, depending upon what period you record this, I guess. But once again, I don't want people waving and making faces and throwing up, signs with their fingers and such. Be discreet. So once again, as I'm walking down the hall, you might notice it's not bouncing quite as much as you would expect. Of course, you could show them the nurse's office, although if somebody's not feeling well, you don't want to be taking their video of them. Same thing in guidance. You can kind of show them there. And we can go down the hallway. So here I am walking, and it's pretty smooth, right? And maybe I would go all the way here to the Library Media Center. Once again, don't bother Mrs. Lane's class if you come in here. If there's a bunch of people stopping and making faces or waving, I know she's not going to appreciate that. All right? So maybe 4 or 5 clips of video like this that you're going to stitch together to make a school tour using the DJI Pocket 3.